Now, in the GTD methodology, David Allen says that your calendar is to block time for yourself. It's not just for other people to block your time. You are the guardian of your time. Therefore, you should be looking at your time and decide between the meetings what's my available time and what are the best things to do to fill that time so that you get the right things done, the things that really matter to you. So you need to chunk out some time, block time with yourself. If you leave it open, other people will use this time to use other meetings, and then you won't have any time left for your own projects. Therefore, book some time with yourself every day to work on the projects, the things that you have deferred. If not, they will be deferred forever and never will be done. So the calendar is to block time with ourselves and for other meetings. Remember, calendar is sacred ground. Only time specific things should go there. The things which have to be done at a particular time. Don't use it for any other purpose. As you process the email and it goes into your waiting folder, your to-do folder and your filing, you will realize that your inbox is getting thinner and thinner by the day, and over the next few days you will be able to come from a full inbox to an empty inbox. But just because the inbox is lighter, thinner and more emptier doesn't mean that all your work is done. You need to actually make sure that you are following up on your to-do, on your next action items, as well as the things that you have delegated to other people. So your next actions, your to-do items, your deferred items and the delegated items need to be carefully checked. You know that your best laid plans can go haywire. That's because throughout the day there will be many emergencies, problems, meetings, last minute issues and things coming up. Therefore, it is possible that you miss out some things. Some things you plan to do today, but you don't find the time to do it today. That's okay. It happens to everybody. Don't blame yourself and don't curse. All you need to do is to, at the end of the day, do a quick daily review to see what was done and what got left over that can be rescheduled, moved to other days. Similarly, we need to have a weekly review so that we can plan the next whole week in advance. A monthly review would add value at the end of this. So these kind of regular reviews make sure that nothing falls through the cracks, all the emails are taken care of, and the things that you have kept in the waiting for folder, they need weeding out. Maybe some of the things that you decided to do may no longer be needed anymore. So you have to remove them and move them into the appropriate folders. Review things regularly so that they are done. New things are coming up. File the things on time and review your next actions list, the waiting for list on a daily, on a weekly basis, so that you are always on top of things and you don't just move things into a folder and forget about them. You actually execute them. If something doesn't happen, simply reschedule it. So I am going to now show you a workflow of how this thing works. So what we do is, we have your inbox. You pick up each email and then decide, is it actionable? If it is no, then you simply delete it. If it cannot be done but it's a meeting, you simply accept it or reject it. If you accept it, you can set up a reminder. If it is something that you will do someday, maybe learn piano, take guitar lessons, then you can move them into your someday maybe list. If you want to keep this email but it's not actionable, you simply want to research it some point of time, it could be a project report, well, simply move it to your research folder. If it is something that somebody else is working on, we will keep those things into our waiting folder, and the projects is where our filing of the items the A to Z indexed list of projects is under the projects list. Now, if it actually belongs to a project, it will go to the projects folder, and if it is an actionable thing which can be done within the next 2 minutes, we simply do it. If it cannot be done in 2 minutes, then we defer it. Then it goes into our next actions folder as well as on the calendar. If we are not going to work on it, then we simply delegate it and put a reminder in the waiting for folder. So let me show you a simple animation to give you a better idea. Let's say you need to, let's say you receive a report. Is it actionable? No. Simply move it to the research. You need to research it. Let's say you need to repair your car. Your car has been making some noise and it's been on your back of your mind to get it repaired, but just that you don't find the time. Well, the problem is, if you write repair car, that's not actionable because you cannot repair the car yourself. You actually want the garage services, the repair company to actually check it out for you. So repair car is not actionable, but what's the next action to get it repaired? Call quick fit. That's actionable, something you can do. So is it actionable? Of course, comes down. Does it belong to a project? No, calling quick fit doesn't belong to a project. Would it take 2 minutes or less or more to call quick fit? Yes, of course, it hardly takes a minute. As long as you have the number handy, you can call it and simply do the work. Now, once you call the repair company, 2 things will happen. Either they will tell you the date and time where you have to bring it for repair, or they will say that they are unable to help you out. Once you call the car company and they are able to repair it, they will give you an appointment. Take that appointment and this moves into your calendar. That's it. You have now taken care of this email in this very simple workflow. Next, we have a report to write for a client. Is it actionable? You bet. Does it belong to a project? Yes. Now there are 2 further actions. First of all, I won't be writing the report myself. I want my staff Peter to do it. And before we can write the report, I also need to get some information from my client. I have some questions for them. So we are going to process these 2 things. Call Peter. Will it take less than 2 minutes? Yes. Simply do it. Call the client to get some information. Sure, I'd like to do it. It's just that now is not the right time. Now is 8 p.m. in the evening, or it's too early and the client doesn't normally arrive at the work place this early. So I need to defer this. Call client needs to be deferred and it moves to my next actions list. So as you can see, now we have called Peter, delegated the work, and we have planned when to call the client. It has gone into our next actions list. Let's say I want to order a book. So is it actionable? Yes, of course. And it hardly takes a couple minutes. So we simply order it and done. Now let's say I ordered the book from Amazon. Now the book may take 3 days to arrive. By the time I might not remember when I ordered the book, what was the order number, what was the book number, etc., etc. I might completely forget about it. So I need to check with Amazon on the delivery details if I don't get the book in the next 3 days. So chase Amazon for delivery. Well, this goes into the calendar as a reminder, and it goes into my waiting folder where I am waiting for the book to arrive. After 2 or 3 days, if the book doesn't arrive, the calendar will remind me, check this book for delivery. Call Amazon. And if I do get the book, I can simply dismiss this alert. it disappears from the calendar, and the next time I am processing my waiting for folder, I would see that the book actually arrived. I'll simply press the delete key and the reminder email is deleted. That's it. Now I can't forget it, and if I need to remember, the system will remind me. I don't have to bother. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple system. We have seen multiple examples of how you can use it on an everyday basis for every email, whether you are going to do it, somebody else is going to do it, or you're going to file it for future. Any kind of work, whether project related, non-project related, every email can be processed through this simple method, and we only need 3 or 4 folders to take care of everything. We don't need hundreds of folders and subfolders. Do implement it, give it a try. Did you know that Outlook has categories and Gmail has tags? Well, you can easily use this to further segregate and filter your emails. You can move them into different projects. But the problem is, many people don't like so many folders and subfolders and subfolders, because then they forget which folder did they file it in and they can't seem to find it. Therefore, another idea could be to tag the email as with a category. So you could create multiple categories like calls. All the people you need to call go to the calls list. All the financial related information goes into a financials list. All the research related items go into a research list. A someday maybe list, a waiting for list, and maybe you could even create location based using the @ symbol, like @ shopping, @ home, @ computer, etc., etc. People related categories can be created using the exclamation mark or any other particular symbol that you fancy. So for example, I could have an exclamation for if it is a family related email. I could have one for Liz. If Liz related email, I just tag it as Liz. Next time I need to search for something for Liz, I simply need to search for the Liz category, and the email should be pretty easy to find there. So I have a per person list using the exclamation, and I have projects by using the P underscore method. So P underscore animations project, P underscore write book project, P underscore coursework project, etc., etc. If you apply a prefix, a full stop, exclamation mark, then what happens is these items will stay together once the list is sorted. You could use Outlook notes for these lists, or you could simply use categories. It is easily available in the home page, and I would be providing show notes to show you a screenshot of where it is available below the video. So very simple, this system is touch an email, do it, delete it, defer it, delegate it. This is all you need to do.